Voters of Palo Alto this evening is holding a summer social, and our subject is going to be the celebration of 100 years of voting for women.
In California.
In California. In the United States, last year it was 90 years. This year, for California, it's 100 years. We preceded the national rule by law by 9 years. And we were the 5th state in the United States. Just try to think about what it would be like if you couldn't vote on the issues that are coming forward in city council, or if you couldn't vote on issues that we're facing at the national elections. That you had to depend on the men for that. You had to depend on convincing some man that he would vote with you. And that's not acceptable at all. Half of us hold up the sky as a Chinese statement. We are part of that, and we were not part of it. It was more than just voting at the time. We didn't have the right to do many things.
After the constitutional amendment passed, the 19th Amendment in the U.S. Constitution, making it national, then the League of Women Voters was established because the women who had pushed so hard for the vote then said, oh, now we have to do something to educate ourselves and other voters, and also to become involved with the whole legislative process.
Many did worry that women being allowed to vote would immediately bring about prohibition, and a focus also on the softer issues, as they were called then, like poverty, child labor laws, prostitution, and most important, the feminization of men and the masculinization of women, that family structures would crumble and that the whole society would be in upheaval. It's easy for us to laugh and kind of joke about it now in reflection, but at that point, people really thought that it would be tumultuous for society and could really lead to a breakdown of societal structures. 100 years after women gained the right to vote in California, and especially after the women's movement of the 1960s and 70s, women have made incredible strides in nearly every aspect of society. But let's also reflect on this anniversary on how far we still have to go and how slowly we're making progress, especially now here in the United States. Revolutionary changes brought on by the suffrage movement, combined with the technology revolutions and the current revolutions in political organizing, could mean unprecedented changes around the world for women's empowerment. Take, for example, this year's youth revolutions in Tunisia and in Egypt. Mobile phones, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube were not only tools for communication and coordination among the young people of those countries. They enabled communication with the outside world and with the world's media. And with this two-way communication, we saw a new way to receive support and news from the rest of the world. This is no small thing when you're in a public square surrounded by tanks. Just like in the suffrage movement, courage, common cause, and teamwork are clearly and by far the most important assets for the young people of Tunisia and Egypt. I believe that technology added something to the young people that the young people themselves understood very organically. They've grown up, they're digital natives, and so they use this as a means not just to communicate and organize, but also as a validation for their courage and a connection to other participants in a familiar way that we haven't seen in the past. The technology allows us to get an initiative going, to spread the word, to connect with others so much faster than the suffragists could ever have dreamed possible. And so it also brings a responsibility to use this amazing technology, not just for fun and for friendship, but also to continue the fight for women's equality and women's rights around the world.